Jacy, Jayne, and Gigi Dolin.
What up, y'all? This is your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons Delight. So, the 20-woman Battle Royale was a fun Battle Royale match. And what was interesting about this match was that you wanted to see who NXT was kind of like pushing the hardest, in the match. Like who was going to be the last ones eliminated, all that stuff. You kind of wanted the picture of seeing who was going to last the longest in the match. The one person that I learned that they're really pushing is Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria is definitely someone that they're definitely pushing because she was one of the last four. Also, another person that I think may have saved her career is Ruca. I think Ruca is someone that they might end up doing too, because they gave her the Kofi Kingston spot with the headstand, to save herself from getting eliminated. I think she was definitely someone that they're looking at. But you could just tell like who they were building up. The most surprising thing, now Cora Jade looked like it was going to be surprising, but I now know why they did that with Cora Jade, because they was building up this feud with Lyra Valkyria. And especially when Lyra Valkyria was the one that eliminated her the second time, you knew they were going into a feud against each other. The most surprising elimination before the last four was Zoey Stark, because I was sure Zoey Stark was going to be one of the ones. And let me put up the poll. No, let me go over this first before I go over the poll. But anyways, I thought Zoey Stark was going to be one. Now, Zoey Stark also eliminated Nikita Lyons in this match, so that was interesting as well. Let's get to the last three. So after Fyre was eliminated, it was now Jacy, Jayne, and Gigi Dolin, and Lyra Valkyria was the last one to get eliminated before these two. The match wasn't over yet, so the two were celebrating and they didn't realize they still had some match to go, so they had a little rift between each other who was going to win the match. And remember, earlier tonight, Mackenzie Mitchell asked them if it comes down between you two, like she was foreshadowing what was going to end up happening. Also, by the way, Tastic Attraction also eliminated Indi Hartwell in the match. I think Indi Hartwell will be on the main roster pretty soon, so they probably wasn't going to do that. But anyways, so when it was just those two, Jacy and Gigi, Mackenzie Mitchell asked them earlier tonight, if it comes down between you two, what are you guys going to do? Who's going to take the win? It looked like neither one of them wanted to win. Like they kind of played it where they didn't want to win. The crowd was interesting chanting Jacy though. They was chanting Jacy, Jacy, Jacy. And this was interesting because I was like, man, the crowd. What I've noticed is this, guys. When Toxic Attraction the first few months, Gigi Dolin was like the hot player in that group. Like, obviously Mandy was at the top. But between the two, it felt like, Jacy, because nobody really knew who Jacy was, it took her a while to get kind of noticed, right? Like, she was always like that third member of the group. What I started noticing like the last few months is that Jacy's popularity has kind of soared a lot more. So I think the fans are liking Jacy Jayne a lot more right now. And I'm not saying they don't like Gigi Dolin. They still like Gigi Dolin, but I just think that Jacy has taken on more momentum. They've learned more about Jacy. They've seen how good she is on the mic, stuff like that, and they've seen how good she is in the ring. So she's really the total package, but she's someone that also kind of came out of nowhere, right? But Jacy Jayne was getting a chance from the crowd. Jacy Jayne was acting like she was going to let Gigi Dolin win. So what ended up happening was Jacy Jayne is such a good heel, so she's going to act like she was going to let Gigi Dolin get the win, and then she played her and kicked her dead in the face, and then those two started fighting. And both of them ended up eliminating themselves, but here's the thing. It was close, and the referees could not decide on a winner. They both hit their feet exactly at the same time on the mat. So the referees were trying to go at it, and they did I like the sports element they brought into it. They went to a monitor to replay it and get it and overturn the decision what was going on, because the refs on both sides didn't know who won. So they overturned the decision, and then basically what ended up happening was Alicia Taylor got on the mic and she announced that both Jayne and Dolin won, and there was a graphic that came up on the screen saying that when Roxanne Perez came out to stare down both her future opponents, It was going to be a triple threat match at NXT Vengeance Day on Saturday, February the 4th, down in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be a triple threat match now. So both Jayne, Gigi, Dolin, and Jacy Jayne will end up fighting each other again, this time in a triple threat match. It's going to be interesting to see the way they do this. Does this mean that Toxic Attraction has broken up? I hate it because I always wanted to see Toxic Attraction on the main roster, but it looks like they have broken them up after what happened with Mandy Rose. It's going to be very interesting now to see Gigi Dolin, if this is the official end. Are they going to be individuals, solo acts now? To see both of them in that situation now without a group. And now we need a new heel group now, because now that they have broken up Toxic Attraction, I hope, I keep saying this, they need to give Cora Jade a heel group. They need to figure that out. Whatever y'all got to do, y'all got to figure that thing out. Give Cora Jade a heel group. But it looks like that's the end of Toxic Attraction. These two will be facing off, and I expect Roxanne Perez to win. But remember, they also talked about how, both of them was talking about how they're gonna take down the woman who was responsible for taking out the Empire. They met Mandy Rose. And we'll see what happens after that, guys. It's going to be very interesting. Let me put up the poll. Let me put up the poll right now that I put up from earlier. So there was a poll I put up earlier, and I was asking you guys this morning who you thought was winning the number one contenders match. I put in Cora Jade, Zoey Stark, Indi Hartwell, or Gigi or Jacy. I was right, y'all. I was right with my options, because I saw a couple of people saying none of these options, and I was like, I think one of the five are going to win. It ended up being two of the five because it was Gigi and Jacy. I had a feeling, and this is why you got to pay attention real close to how things are booked, because when you see how things are booked, they're going to do things a certain way. So Zoey Stark was the one that I had really coming out of this match, but I said it could be Gigi and Jacy because they did talk about how they wanted to take down Roxanne Perez for taking out Mandy Rose. So I knew there was a revenge story there amongst the two. Now, if there was going to be a baby face, I say Indi Hartwell would be your person because the way they've been pushing her. Cora Jade is just someone I wanted to put out there, but I knew she was not going to, they're going to wait, bro. They're going to wait with Cora Jade. That's what they're doing with her. They're not going to give her anything too soon just yet. They're going to wait towards the end, towards the time that it is for her to go to the main roster. That's when they're going to really push her with the title and all that. But Gigi and Jacy ended up getting the win. 15% of you guys chose her, so she really came. She was tied for second place with Indi Hartwell. But I mean, both of them was tied with Indi Hartwell. But yeah, you just got to pay attention to booking, guys. That's all it is. Okay, you guys, make sure y'all going ahead and hit the like button, comment, and share the video. Also, make sure you guys also donate to the channel by hitting the thanks button below, or you can hit up the Cash App, $SAC Exchange, to send any donation to the Cash App. Here are the top donators, and you can fit yourself in this list at any time if you donate at least $2 or more. Thank you. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be a very interesting match, man. Very interesting match out. And let me put up the other poll on the screen. So I'll put up a new poll after the match tonight. Great turnout already in the first hour here, over 120 votes. I was asking you guys who you're rooting for in that triple threat match. Roxanne Perez, Gigi Dolin, and Jacy Jayne. Based on past polls, Roxanne Perez is pretty popular, so she has 61%. I kind of was not shocked with that. So the real battle is between Gigi and Jacy to see how many of you guys are rooting for. I got a couple of comments saying they're rooting for Jacy Jayne. So we'll see, man. Thank you for everyone who also liked that poll as well. So we're going to see how that poll turns out. That poll is going to be there all the way through Vengeance Day. And I'm going to reveal the results before the Vengeance Day match. So just keep voting in that one for the next 3 weeks. And we'll see what happens there. Also, I wanted to point out one more person in this. Let's see here. I wanted to point out, let's see. I wanted to point out Thea Hail. And Thea is someone that's interesting. She's only 19 years old. and she was a part of the intro piece, and if she could do it or not. She is definitely another one of those players who is really young, and someone that I can see potentially getting a boost, and it is one of the future members. Look, women's wrestling right now is in such a good place with the future talent. This is going to be, in the next 20 years, these stars that are like really young, that's like in their 20s right now, like early 20s, this is going to be a great group of wrestlers that we got. Thea Hail is someone that I'm definitely got my eyes on, bro. Thea Hail is definitely someone that I can see them pushing to the moon. Her, Tiffany Stratton, those type of blondes right there, Soul Ruca, those are the girls that are on the come up, bro. They are going to be a force, and you just gotta watch out for Thea, man. Thea is going to be one of the ones that I really believe that they're going to be pushing very soon. But yeah, so Toxic Attraction might be ending, man. This is interesting. I didn't see this coming. The feuds over the next 3 weeks are going to be great. I can't wait to see how they deal with this, man. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all next week for NXT and SmackDown on the Friday for you WWE fans overall. Remember to vote in the poll. See y'all later. Thank you for watching. After News to Light.